Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I didn't know the baby was coming until it was almost here.
She hid her pregnancy.
I just never thought it would have happened.
You did go through sex education class. You said you knew how it worked.
Deceived her boyfriend.
She lied about the abortion.
Why did you say you did when you didn't?
And then
They're living with you.
moved back in with Mom.
Just for another year or two until they get on their feet.
Yeah, good luck with that. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Dating in the digital age is as simple as a click of a mouse and a swipe to the right. That's just how my guest Courtney met her boyfriend Ryan early last year. However, this young couple has not proven to be a match made in heaven. Almost immediately, there were accusations of Ryan cheating, physical fights, and then the big bombshell. Of course, a baby on the way. But a few weeks into the pregnancy, Courtney lied to Ryan, saying she had an abortion. So he thinks he's a free man, but not so fast. Several months later, during an argument, Courtney revealed she lied again and was still pregnant. Take a look.
Ryan's personality drew me in, and it's what made me stick around and want to be around him all the time.
I had been dating Courtney about 2 months before we went on the family cruise. That's the first time I cheated on Courtney.
You have a bad track record. I think I fell in love with him a little too fast.
We were partying every night on the cruise ship. I met this girl the first night, and then we hooked up. Courtney got physically aggressive towards me. Courtney actually, cocked back and swung at me. She found out she was pregnant 4 weeks after the cruise. Once we got past the cheating situation, we were excited to have the baby. And then Courtney saw a few text messages I had from an ex-girlfriend.
Since I didn't feel like I could trust him, I started to talk to him about having an abortion.
I wasn't donating towards that.
I had my friend drive me to the clinic. When I got there, I felt very guilty.
If Courtney were to get an abortion, I just didn't want to be around her anymore. I was partying a lot. I was living a single life again.
Ryan thought this whole time that I had an abortion. I never told Ryan that I didn't go through with it.
I went over her house and she started crying, and she said something like, "Oh, you don't even realize what you have." She said, "I'm still pregnant with your child." I was freaking out. It went from having a baby to having it aborted to having a baby again. After
he got over the fact that I lied, he got excited about how we could be a family and raise babies together.
I'll admit I was with 4 or 5 other women while I knew Courtney, but once I found out she was pregnant, I focused just on her and the baby.
He's not being faithful. He's acting like a teenager, going out and drinking.
When's the last time I've been out to a bar or done something like that?
He needs to just calm down and be a family man.
Well, now it's one big family affair because these 2 young parents have moved in with Courtney's parents.
My house is completely taken over with dirty diapers, toys, and clothes. We've got all kinds of toys here.
It is crazy having 5 adults and 2 little babies living in one house.
There are 4 of them in one bedroom and 5 of them sharing a bathroom.
This is all Courtney's stuff. My toothbrush is right there. That's it. The rest of it's Courtney's too. This is some of Courtney's daughter's lovely artwork.
Courtney and Ryan both live rent-free. Ryan doesn't contribute anything, even though he has a full-time job.
I have no idea what goes on in Ryan and Courtney's relationship. I don't know Ryan at all.
Did you talk to Ryan about work and taking care of the babies?
I guess he's going to be here. I don't know. We haven't really talked about it.
I pay Courtney's insurance, phone, car, cable, electric, gas, water, heat, food. When do you think you're going to go back to work?
too. Courtney and Ryan are selfish. I think they're obsessed with themselves. I don't know about with each other, but definitely themselves.
We can't keep footing the bill for everyone. There needs to be some rules set down, and everybody needs to abide by them.
It's a lot for my parents to deal with, especially at their age. They should be retired. They shouldn't be taking care of 2 kids and having everybody here living with them.
I plan on taking summer courses at night, though.
So you think my whole summer is going to be spent watching 2 babies?
Being in the house is a bit toxic. It's just overwhelming.
Okay, so you guys aren't married, right?
No.
You guys met on Tinder, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very high standard. Do you just go like down the line, just go, yeah,
like the picture matched up.
Yeah. I mean, did you swipe?
I mean, I had a few matches on there before I met Courtney. And I'm not going to lie, I messaged every one of them that I found attractive.
Yeah. So you had a few before you met her,
Yeah.
and actually a few since you met her.
Yeah.
You just kept swiping.
Yeah, because we weren't dating right away.
Have you talked about getting married? Have you thought about getting married, or just having
down
babies?
the line.
What?
I down the line want to see myself being with him and marrying him. I don't know where he stands and what he feels.
You don't know. You've not asked about it, talked about it?
No, we haven't really just.
Really? You have a child, you had a baby, but you never even chatted about baby
Yeah,
getting
it's
married?
been brought up a few times.
Really?
I bring it up, but it always just ends up in an argument or him getting mean and nasty towards me.
But before you got pregnant, you never had a conversation about whether or not...
No, not before.
No, she joked around about buying rings and stuff prior to that. It was just all jokes, though. Like, she'd show me, she'd tag me in Instagram pictures with rings, like, from Tiffany and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a real knee slapper. So you just joked about it, but you never seriously had a conversation about whether this was a relationship that would be ongoing, committed, long-term.
No, I never.
But
really
you
had a
got
full-
pregnant. Were you using protection?
No.
No.
Did you have that home ec and sex education class in school?
I did.
Because you know how that works, right?
Yes. I know how it all works.
There's no 100% full, you know, there's no...
But with no protection, it's less than not just 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I'm trying to get an idea of what your mindset was, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm working with here and how I might be able to help you guys. So I'm trying to figure out what your mindset was going in.
I guess I just never thought it would have happened.
Let's go back to, you did go through the home ec and sex education class. You said you knew how it worked.
Yes.
So I kind of made a list of what I thought some of your early on questionable relationship behavior was. See what you guys think about it. No contraception, lied about abortion. So you did get pregnant.
Yes.
You know, surprise. You did get pregnant, but then you lied about having an abortion. And then you said that the daughter wasn't his.
Yes.
Did you really think it wasn't his?
No, I just said that out of anger.
Were there any other candidates?
No, I've never cheated on Ryan. Even though he's cheated on me multiple times, I still stay faithful to him the whole time.
Even though you're not in a committed relationship, I mean, you both swiped.
I was under the impression that we were in more of a serious relationship. We've never really declared that we were going out the whole time. Like, I would post pictures with him. I would post pictures with him on like Snapchat and stuff. And he never did that towards me.
So you never talked about it, but your criteria was, we both swiped and I'm putting up Snapchat, so come on.
Yeah.
We were just never really good at communicating with each other. Right from the beginning, we were never...
Verbally?
Verbally.
Yes.
Physical part's a different story.
You say that you admit that you've hit him multiple times during arguments.
Yeah.
Will you punch him, slap him, shove him, kick him, all the above?
I guess I would swing at him.
Well, okay. Coming up, Courtney admits she lied to her family about her pregnancy. Not just Ryan, but her family. But was this the first time? The answer might surprise you. We'll talk to the family when we come back.
With my first pregnancy, I didn't tell my mom until I was about 3 months along.
With Courtney's second pregnancy, I didn't know the baby was coming until it was almost here.
I was pissed. I was upset. Just how could she do this to my parents for a second time?
And later, she lied to you about the last pregnancy.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I lied. I just never told her about
You
it.
lied by omission. You really want to play semantics with me?
I overlooked a few red flags. One time he left his phone home and I saw he was texting other girls being flirty. He was being a little sexual, talking kind of the way we started talk in the beginning, and I just felt that it was wrong, but I overlooked it.
Well, Courtney admits that she struggles with disclosure. She struggles with the truth. It's bad enough for 7 months she hid the fact from her family that she was having Ryan's baby, but this was not even the first time she concealed a pregnancy. Take a look.
My daughter Courtney hid both her pregnancies until she was well along.
She doesn't like to tell us what's going on in her life. She's very secretive.
With my first pregnancy, I didn't tell my mom until I was about 3 months along.
I didn't tell anybody about Courtney's pregnancy. It was a secret. I kept it to myself right through the holidays. I didn't even tell my husband.
I didn't know if I should be happy or sad or disappointed because she was so young. She was still in high school at the time.
With Courtney's second pregnancy, I didn't know the baby was coming until it was almost here.
About 19 months later, Mom told me that Courtney again was pregnant with a second baby. This time she was 7 months along.
Courtney went away with Ryan. I specifically told her to watch yourself and please don't come home with another baby. Courtney said to me, "What do you think, I'm stupid?" And I said, "Yeah, you are." Now here she has another baby.
I was pissed. I was upset. Just how could she do this to my parents for a second time?
I just didn't feel the need to really tell them. Even though I wanted to tell them, I just couldn't.
I even asked her months before if everything was okay. I asked her, "Courtney, are you pregnant?" And she looks at me and says, "No, I'm not pregnant."
I was afraid to tell my mom this time because I knew she was going to be disappointed again.
Well, of course I would be mad. You have no real job, no real skills, and you can't support it. And I can't afford it.
Okay, so they're living with you,
Yes, they are.
and you're in the home also?
Yes, I am now.
Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus Nick. Your husband, that's 5. And then the 2 babies.
Yes.
So that's 7 in the house. And then you 2 plus the 2 children are living in one room?
Yes, my room, my old room.
Your old room?
Yeah, that I grew up in.
But you've raised them once.
I know.
What's the problem with them?
I have to say, I like to see my little grandchildren.
So you want them there?
Not permanently, just for another year or 2 until they get on their feet.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Don't you want to be on your own, taking care of your child and the mother of your child?
Of course I do. I mean, when I first found out that Courtney was pregnant with the baby, this was before the lying about the abortion and all that, me and her went to look for apartments on our own. And we went and saw a few of them, and that was our plan from the beginning, to move out and be with each other and just us and the 2 kids.
Right.
So then she lied about the abortion, and the plan was off the table after that.
Okay, so, because she said she got an abortion.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you didn't.
Yes.
So why did you say you did, by the way, when you didn't?
I wasn't in, like, the right time of my life to have another child, like, financially wise and, like, relationship wise. I just knew that I couldn't trust Ryan, and, like, every time I would give him chance after chance, he just proved to me, like, that he's not going to change unless he seeks help, and that I didn't want to be raising another child and having that burden on my mom again.
Did you ever think about that before you got pregnant?
No, I didn't.
Of course not.
No, Courtney does pretty much what she wants to do at the moment. whatever pops into her head.
Well, you certainly make that possible, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes, I have to say, I have to take some of the blame. I really do. And her father, too. But, you know, I've been through so much with Courtney since she's been this big. And she's very difficult to control. No matter what I say or do, she's going to do the opposite. So I can't see throwing her out on the street. My mom wouldn't have done it to me if I ever did that, which I didn't. And honestly, everything when I was watching backstage when they were on, I didn't know how she met him. She told me she met him from a friend.
Did you ever ask?
Yeah, she told me she met him. Yeah.
She just lied to you?
She's been lying to me since she's been talking.
You continue to reward bad behavior.
What would you like me to do? She keeps lying. I keep yelling at her. I've had to therapist before.
Okay, so that's not working.
That's not working.
But you're rewarding bad behavior. Can we agree with that?
Probably
You
right
are,
now.
Mom.
Yes,
You're doing
okay.
it.
I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of coming off as the bad guy. I've just had enough.
What do you know about him?
Not much.
That's
so he
correct.
could be a serial killer. He
right.
could come in there and slit your throat in the middle of the night.
Yes, he could.
And you have no idea who he is.
That's exactly right.
And later, are you living there for free?
We never came to an agreement on any payments or anything. And they haven't asked me for anything yet, so we haven't,
Well,
like I
but
said.
should they have to ask you? You know, I'm real basic in the way I look at these things. I think there are some fundamental rules that in life we just need to embrace. And one of those is you just simply don't reward bad behavior. Whatever you're doing in life, I don't care if you're a teacher, a cop, a parent, whatever. It just doesn't make sense to reward bad behavior. Because when you reward behavior, it's likely to repeat. When you don't reward behavior, it's likely to not repeat. Because people do what brings rewards. So if she lies and you reward that behavior by letting her get away with it, giving her what she wants anyway, whatever, then that's likely to repeat. Necessity is the mother of invention. When things stop working, people come up with new ways to behave. And you said she's been lying since she could speak.
Yeah.
So apparently she's been getting rewarded for that since she could speak. Or it wouldn't repeat. I mean, it's just fundamental. I mean, this is not hard stuff. I know a lot of 75-cent words. I just try not to use them.
She's a difficult child.
I'm sorry?
She's a very difficult child. I don't know what to do. I've tried she's the kind of child that when she was young and I said, all right, you lost television tonight. You know, you did something wrong. I didn't want to watch that show anyway. I don't know what to do with her.
Are you saying that she is incorrigible?
Pretty much.
Really? Everybody has a currency. Everybody has a currency. You just have to find what that currency is. Every parent needs to understand that about their child. Everybody has a currency. Doesn't matter what it is.
Then I haven't found it with her yet. In 20 years.
She lied to you about the last pregnancy, right?
Yeah, she's lied about that.
And what'd you do when that baby was born?
It wasn't that I lied. I just never told her about
You
it.
lied by omission. You really want to play semantics with me?
No.
I'm happy to do it if that's how you want to spend your time. Let's do it.
No.
Did you lie by omission?
Yes.
There was a truth not told, correct?
Yes.
That's a lie. What do you know about him?
Not much.
Well, nothing now, and now I'm even wondering if I want him under my roof.
Well, now, how long's he been there?
Just since the baby's been born.
Which is how
4
long
weeks.
now? Huh?
4 weeks.
A month today.
So you moved this guy in a month ago to your house.
He's moved in, not in the physical sense as far as packed your clothes, bring everything in, all your equipment. He's here at night.
Okay, so
That's
you
it.
want to play semantics. Okay.
Oh, no.
Good God. All right. Is the guy sleeping in your home?
He's sleeping in my home,
Are you
yes.
going in your room, closing your eyes, going to sleep, and this guy's
Yes.
in your house under
Yes,
roof?
that's
So he
correct.
could be a serial killer. He
right.
could come in there and slit your throat in the middle of the night.
Yes, he could.
And you have no idea who he is.
That's exactly right.
He could be a schnauzer kidnapper. You don't know. You have no
That's
idea
exactly
who
right.
he is.
You're right.
And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I don't know. I don't know that you are, or I don't know that you're not.
No, this is the most I've ever heard him speak. When I was listening to him backstage.
But you're moving him in. You moved it. He's living in your house. You're asleep, and he can be roaming around.
You're right. You're right. And the reason I let her bring him in is because I felt she shouldn't have to be the only one responsible for this baby.
Who shouldn't?
My daughter.
They shouldn't, but they shouldn't be in the house. They're grown adults.
I know. Well,
She shouldn't be the only one responsible. She was the only one that did the deed.
well, he had part of it. I mean, it takes two.
Well,
but
I'm talking about between the two of you.
Oh.
You weren't there, I assume.
No. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
So there are some boundaries.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. So who are you? Are you?
Are you a serial killer?
Oh, I'm not a serial killer, that's for sure.
No. But you are a serial cheater.
I could admit that.
Okay, so we know that.
We know that. I just found that out this morning.
Just this morning.
Just this morning.
Well,
not
I'm just
10 minutes
I'm
ago.
just throwing light on everything here, right? You're learning all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so what was the real motivation for Courtney having her babies? I'll tell you what I think when we come back.
Courtney's an extremely impulsive person. She doesn't think before she acts.
Courtney expects everything to be given to her, and that's just not the way that life is.
I'm hoping Courtney is a late bloomer and that she will finally grow out of it. My husband, Nick, had stage 4 cancer. He was afraid he wouldn't even make it to see his grandchildren. He thinks it's a blessing to be with his grandkids. My husband and I are not taking care of ourselves. It's been tough.
Courtney needs to step up to the plate, or she is going to kill my parents.
Well, 20-year-old Courtney wrote to me after she gave birth to her baby girl with 23-year-old Ryan, who she's been dating for a little over a year. She's been dating him, he's been dating her, and several others. She's desperate to fix her relationship that's been plagued by cheating, fighting, breaking up, and making up. They're currently living with her parents. So we now have 5 adults and 2 children living in the home of a couple that ordinarily would be looking at retiring, slowing down, focusing on themselves and doing some things that they've worked hard all their lives to earn and achieve. But they've now joined almost 3 million other grandparents across America that are either wholly or partly raising, housing, and supporting grandchildren because the kids had them and cannot, or will not, or do not take care of and provide for them. That pretty much sum up the situation?
That pretty much sums it up, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you feel about this? Do you feel like you're unduly burdening your parents?
Yes, I feel like I'm burdening them, but it's not going to be for the rest of my life. I feel like
It may be for the rest of their life. That's my concern.
Not their life. I feel like in a year or 2 from now, when I am financially stable, that I will move out and be on my own with my family.
And you understand a year or 2 may well be the rest of your father's life.
Yes.
So that may constitute a high percentage of the time he has left. Don't know, we never know, but at that age, that becomes a pretty high-risk scenario.
I know, and that's why I want to work things out and talk and communicate so there is less stress on both of them and that he doesn't have to go through this day to day.
Okay, and without going through any real detail, could you give me just a short rundown, just the highlights of your plan to become financially independent between now and this time next year?
I plan on going back to school and just working as much as I can. and saving up my money.
But going back to school is a drain on finances, not adding to finances. Long term, maybe. Short term, no. So between now and next year, what's your plan for becoming financially independent, where you can, with 2 children, the cost of raising 2 children and living independently in America is you're going to be somewhere between $35,000 and $50,000 a year for a family of 4. For you guys to live, you're going to have to generate between $35,000 and $50,000 to do that. What's your income now?
Right now, I'm unemployed.
Okay, so you're going to have to go from 0 to 50.
Yeah.
0 to $35,000, $40,000, $50,000. What's your plan to go from where you are now to that?
Well, when I can go back to work, I just plan on working as much as I can.
Yeah, and what would your career would be?
Right now, I'm a server.
And who's going to watch your children while you're doing that?
I plan on working nights, so I planned on Ryan coming home from work and watching the children.
But see, there's a problem with this, because that was said the last time, and I ended up doing it. And Ryan, when he comes over, you know, it's 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. I'm ready for bed because I got to get up and go to work the next morning. So I'd be watching the children from her last job. She had to be there at 4 or 5.
So you're working?
Yeah, I work full time.
And you contribute, of course, to the house and the expenses and the groceries and all that.
Yes.
Are you working?
Yes, I work.
And you work full time?
I work full time, 40 plus hours a week.
And I'm thankful she's home because she's helped me take some of the burden off. And Courtney, even before she had this baby, it was every penny she had was spent on her.
That's not true.
Well,
you don't know what I spend my money on, and you just assume things.
Well, she knows what you're not spending
Well,
on.
I asked you
But I do spend it on the babies.
Yeah. You didn't really know each other?
No, they're pretty much strangers.
Do you know her middle name?
Yes. Leanne.
Lee.
Lee.
I told you that.
Close. You're living in the house, so your contribution to rent, mortgage, utilities, groceries, insurance, taxes, maintenance, upkeep, and all has been what percent?
Well, I'm still paying for the house that I used to live in with my father. And they've never really come to, we've talked about it, like just small talk about money where I'm at now in their house, but they've never fully come to an agreement on what I should be paying.
Well, but you're living there, right?
Yeah.
So are you living there for free?
Well, this whole month that I lived there, I didn't pay anything.
But you know you're there.
Yeah.
And you know it's costing somebody. And you know your baby mama's there. And your baby's there. So you're letting somebody else pay for you and your family?
Well, yeah, we never communicated. We never had that. We never came to an agreement on any payments of anything. I don't know. I have no idea what they pay as a mortgage at that house. So I don't know what to pitch in and what not to.
Well, but you know it should be something besides 0.
Yeah, of course. And they haven't asked me for anything yet, so we haven't,
well,
like I
but
said.
Should they have to ask you? I mean, you're the father here. You're staying there, eating there, sleeping there. Your baby's there. Your baby mama's there. And should they have to ask you, or should you be?
They shouldn't have to ask me, but I've tried to communicate with Courtney on living in the house with my father. It's just my father in a 6-bedroom house in the next town over, 5 miles from where she lives. Yeah. I don't know why we can't live there.
Because Courtney doesn't want to leave Mom.
No, she doesn't. She's already told me she doesn't want to leave me.
And if I do go over there, I'm not going to have the help that I have at my house right now, because who's going to help me when he's not around? I know it should all be on me, but I can't work and leave 2 kids at home.
Well, you're not working now.
I know, but when I do go back to work.
Like we talked about already, we barely know each other. Me and her family and I, like we never had that connection yet.
Courtney also didn't bring him around at all. We have hardly
It was always
met
a
him.
secret. She was just friends with
It was
him.
always just friends.
Just friends. Are you dating him?
So
no,
y'all
we're
don't
just
really
friends.
know each other very well, do you?
Courtney and I? No, we started getting to know each other more when she was pregnant. The first few months she was pregnant, we started really clicking with each other.
So before that, you didn't really know each other?
No, we were pretty much strangers.
We just went into everything way too fast, and I, like, got attached to him way too fast without barely knowing him.
So you just started having sex and subsequently a child, and then thought, I don't even really know this person. Do you know his friends?
She knows a few of them.
Yeah.
My close friends, she hangs around with them.
Do you know his middle name?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, it's Blair.
Yeah. Do you know her middle name?
Yes.
What is it?
Leanne.
Lee.
Lee.
She
told me it was Leanne.
It was Ann.
Well, that's...
My full name is Courtney Leanne. I told him that.
Well,
It had an L in it.
technically, I was right.
Yeah.
Technically.
No, and honestly, I don't want to come off sounding uppity, but I'm not fond of where he lives.
I do
I
live
worked-
in a different area than where they're at. Though it's a little bit scarier of a neighborhood. But my side of town, where I live exactly, is a little quieter than where most of the, like, I would say, drug activity goes on in that town. There's drug activity in every town.
But if she took the babies out for a walk in the stroller, I would feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
She doesn't know anyone. It's not a good, sorry, Ryan.
No, go ahead.
It's not a good neighborhood. I feel like I've worked, my husband and I have worked our whole lives to put ourselves in a good neighborhood, in good schools, and I don't want to say any more
Okay.
and come up uppity.
No, I get your point. You want to feel safe.
Right.
And you acknowledge that there is some danger in that area. All right, next.
Yeah.
What's Linda's greatest fear in this situation? And what do I think needs to happen here? A lot. And I'm going to kind of detail that when we come back.
I feel bad for Courtney. She gets stuck here with the babies while Ryan gets to go off and do whatever he wants. From when we were little, Courtney has always been a dominant person in the relationship. Even between us, she tries to be the domineering one over me. And she seems to be very passive with Ryan. I think Courtney's submissive to Ryan just so that she doesn't have to take care of two babies on her own.
Linda says her 20-year-old daughter, Courtney, has no degree, no job, no skills, and just had her second baby, this time with 23-year-old Ryan, who has admitted that he has cheated on her. They all live in a house with Courtney's mother, Linda, her father, Nick, and her sister, Christy. Nick is on the phone, and I want to talk to Nick here for just a second before I weigh in on this. Nick, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being patient. You've been listening in the entire time, correct?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Tell me, is there something that we haven't talked about that you think needs to be considered before I tell these two young people what I think needs to be on their most urgent to-do list?
I think you covered it all, and there's a lot of things that I didn't know of. It's the same as my wife, and I have to say I'm partly to blame for a lot of the things that Courtney is doing now. Probably there was a lot of things that I didn't know about, and as Ryan said, we haven't had an opportunity to sit down and discuss some monetary things, which my wife and I had already discussed before he even moved into the home with us. And, you know, we want to make him feel comfortable, and we want him to be part of the family.
At your age and your less than perfect health situation, you really do need to step back and say, I need to take care of myself some here. I need to decompress some here and need to do what I can to create some longevity in my life. That will be a gift to your wife. It will be a gift to your daughters. It will be a gift to your grandchildren. Right now, the two of you are behaving in a very immature fashion. I want the two of you to immediately go into premarital counseling. And you're going to talk about things that involve goals, the definition of a relationship, what emotional integrity means, such things as division of labor, who's responsible for what. You're going to talk about things like religion, expectations for the marriage, family values. You're going to talk about conflict resolution. You're going to talk about in-laws and boundaries and barriers. You're going to talk about all the things that those that have been married for a long time, that have studied marriage for a long time, have learned come up. Because if you learn these things and you expect them to come up, then you can be prepared to deal with them. And what you might come out of that with is saying, you know what, we don't want to be married. We need to learn how to co-parent and go our separate ways. Or you may say, well, let's take a shot at this and see if we can at least cohabit here in an adult and compatible way. You may find that you actually have feelings for each other, or you may not. I don't know. But that's what you need to discover. I mean, let's find out really, is this really the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with?
I could see myself with it for the rest of my life.
Is this the person you really want to spend the rest of your life with? You really don't know that until you really sit down and find out what your values are, and if you can come up with a plan that both of you can be excited about and that your children can benefit from. Okay?
Thank you.
We're going to accept that help. You willing to do that?
Yeah.
And I'll get that started right away. Okay. And what I'd ask you to do is to let that happen and stay out of it. That's what we're going to work out, okay? We'll do this, and this is our gift to you. We will set this up.
Thank you.
Let's roll the clock back to the extent we can and do this right. Fair enough? Okay, all right. Next up, a mom's so cool she listens to the same music as her kids but says her face shows her age. She wants to freeze time but refuses to give up the one thing that can help her. We'll be right back. Ready to get real? Go to drphil.com for advice on relationships, parenting, finances, and more. Plus, weigh in on your favorite episodes, share your stories, and find support in the Dr. Phil community. When you sign up for the community, you will automatically be subscribed to the Dr. Phil Show newsletter. Log on to drphil.com today. She blasts her favorite rock tunes in her hot sports car as she picks up her children, but says she wishes her skin could look like a blast from the past. Take a look.
This is Dee. I am so busy, it's hard just to take care of myself and just focus on me. I'm a working mom, and I have 5 kids ranging from 2 to 18 years old. My kids call me rocker mom because I am definitely not your traditional mom, not your baking kind of stay-at-home mom. I work all the time. I have moments when I think, you know, motherhood is wearing me down. I take a look in the mirror and go, wait, that wasn't there before. I worry about the fine lines that come in around the eyes, mouth, around everywhere. I'm not ready for that. When I was younger, I really didn't take great care of my skin. I enjoy the sun a lot. I've tried all sorts of products. Didn't work. I'm looking for a product that can make my skin feel healthier, so is there something out there? When people look at me, I want them to see me as a mother of a 2-year-old and not an 18-year-old.
Joining us is #7 beauty expert and dermatologist, Dr. Jessica Wu, and Dee. Well, you seem to be managing a lot while trying to maintain your youthful spirit, right?
I'm really trying, Dr. Phil. I'm a mom of a 2-year-old, and, you know, I feel really young, but at the same time, I'm realistic, and I know that I think I'm getting a little older.
Yeah, well, that happens to all of us. I mean, things get closer to the sidewalk. I mean, you know. So, Dr. Wu, what can she do to look as young as she feels inside?
Well, you're definitely not alone, because many of my patients tell me the exact same thing in my office. They say they look in the mirror and they're starting to see lines and wrinkles that really age them. Now, the good news is that you can actually get back your skin's youth by using products containing powerful anti-aging ingredients such as peptides and retinol. How does that sound?
It sounds amazing. I just don't have time for just a whole beauty plan.
Well, luckily, it doesn't have to be complicated. If you only have time for just one step, I suggest adding a serum to your routine, either alone or under moisturizer. And that's because serums contain really concentrated ingredients that really get to your skin. One of my favorites is number 7, Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced Serum. And that's something that I recommend to my patients because not only does it have those ingredients, but it's backed by science. So all you need to do is start using it.
And of course, anytime you start something, I don't care what it is, you got to stick to it. Consistency, compliance is the whole thing, right?
That's absolutely right, Dr. Phil, especially when it comes to skincare. In fact, number 7 serum has been clinically proven to reduce the appearance of lines and wrinkles after just 4 weeks, with results that continue to get better over time. And you know what? The best part is great skincare doesn't have to be super expensive. You can find this serum at Target for less than $30.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and listen, we all know the best investment is you. You got to take care of yourself so you can take care of others. When you look good on the outside, you feel better on the inside. When you feel better on the inside, you look better on the outside. And guess what? You and everyone in the audience are going home with your own number 7 serum today. So you get that. I want to thank all of my guests today, and we will see you next time. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Jessica, thank you so much. Guys, thanks so much.